Newark, New Jersey remains an enigma, straddling the dual worlds of hardscrabble inner city living to the west and gentrification-driven development to the east in a now transformed downtown district, Brick City evolving. Yet what has not changed over the years is black leadership. 4 black elected mayors in the Garden State's largest city over the last 5 decades. It all started with the historic 1970 election of Kenneth A. Gibson.
There were a lot of things going on in the city at the time that enhanced his ability to be elected.
Ken Gibson passed away last year, but his brother Harold still remembers the tumultuous events of the late 1960s, namely the Newark Rebellion of 1967, which occurred under the controversial, divisive leadership of then-Mayor Hugh Addonizio. After running and losing to Addonizio in 1966, Gibson's knack for bringing people together allowed him to capture the attention of a city desperately in need of healing, beating Addonizio in 1970.
His legacy was his friendship with people. He really got along with everybody.
To be sure, black mayoral leadership in Newark is almost an afterthought in 2020. Mayor Ras Baraka succeeded then Mayor and now U.S. Senator Cory Booker, who in turn succeeded Sharp James. James was part of the coalition that initially fueled Gibson's rise to power. And it was also James who, in 1986, ran and won against Gibson, who was then seeking a 5th term in office.
He made dreams become a reality. And we loved him for that. Ken Gibson gave the idea that minorities could win.
But victory for Newark's black mayors has not always translated to progress in several of the city's neighborhoods. Critics of Newark's various administrations point to persistent crime and poverty that has plagued the city for decades. We asked Newark official historian Junius Williams what he would say to those who ask, has Newark really benefited from 5 decades of black mayoral leadership?
People don't understand history. They don't understand economics. They don't understand racism. There was federal policy that redlined cities like Newark. You couldn't get loans in the city of Newark.
Williams adds everything Newark is today, the good and the bad, a black mayoral legacy that started with Ken Gibson, all of it, is the byproduct of a potent combination of injustice, perseverance, and in 2020, enlightenment.
Now you have more white people, fortunately, since the death of George Floyd, who understand just how deep and endemic racism is in America. Along with racism comes class discrimination. So you've got classism and racism combined to form institutions that have been designed to keep black people in a certain place, regardless of who's in City Hall.
In Newark, New Jersey, Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
Well, there have also been a number of African Americans who became the first mayors of color in other big cities as well, and they all had a big impact on their city.
Yeah, like New York City's David Dinkins, who in his 2nd term began the remarkable transformation of Times Square. Harold Washington in Chicago put a strong tenants' rights ordinance into place and made it the first sanctuary city. Tom Bradley in Los Angeles was a former police officer who served 5 terms as mayor.
Maynard Jackson in Atlanta became a champion of black businesses. Carl Stokes in Cleveland shifted the political landscape, and Walter Washington in D.C. was the great-grandson of a slave who inherited a burning city and steered it through recovery.
To watch all of our Created Equal stories, go to pix11.com/createdequal.